Guys, and welcome back to SVOR round 3. There's a few changes that we need to talk about. We have switched to qualifying, like the full qualifying. We haven't changed the time when we start. We're gonna give this a run through, obviously, if we finish by a certain time, and if we do, we will keep it. It may change for a couple of tracks just because of how long they are and just those kind of things. So we've got one new driver in today, which is SVOR. He's in as a reserve for now, so obviously he may get moved to a like a actual full-time seat. A few drivers have left the league, so that's opened a few seats. Like I said, so in full qualifying now, I believe everyone will retire. I know for a fact that one driver has a qualifying ban, which is I think Dan, so he should be retiring sometime soon. Everyone will then have to do a lap, and then we should be good to go. And then we'll go into Q2, and then that will be basically it. So we've got Adam Lee and Mercedes are one shot out on track now. They will just be doing a lap each, and then retire. It can all go down to how it should be. I do now need to get the chat out so I can see what everyone is saying. Very much not. So yeah, everyone's going to do one lap, and then they should come in, and then retire. Yeah. So how I usually do things around here, I will predict who gets pole. I know a lot of drivers love this track, so it's going to be quite hard to actually pick, but I'm going to go with SV John putting on pole. He loves this track, so I know he loves this track. Cross the line. Everything is okay with the stream. On my end, it looks fine. Might be a little bit jittery at some places. That's just bad. There's a few drivers running the wrong number. We'll let it slide this race. It will change the next one. Yeah, everyone's out. John. He should probably get out. Down the long straight. So hopefully we'll get to see a lot of passing on there. Doing really fast time, but not. Yeah, everyone will be putting in lap times. I'm not sure what the six are doing. A bit of fun out there. Right, there we go. Now, I think my phone's just got really hot. Decided to have. John, I don't know if you're watching the stream, but come out and put a lap in because we've got to retire after. Yeah, that's bad. Someone's spinning. Bottom six. Next person to cross the line. Never do. Oh, no. Bottom six coming into the last one now. Runs out wide, but it's not really good enough. No. Messy laps. I think they're going to be going full pelt around here. I don't think any of these guys are actually pushing. So, Kimmy understands it. Yeah, he's finally on his way out. And now everyone should be, I think, retiring. And then he's actually, that's out very wide. Okay, Kimmy's validating the lap, so he's going to go do another lap. There's not another Williams, so there's King Gamers. I think that's what the plan is. That's what we had planned on doing. I'm not sure what's actually happening. Anyways. I'm pretty sure there's just a way to get the chat. Everyone's listening. We should all be. I'm not sure what Andy is doing. Andy, just come in. Why are they all going out of that? There's rain. Okay. So John, going around the last corner now. Set. One's out wide, shouldn't lose too much. Going third. Okay. Still hasn't set a lap. We're going to want to settle up. That's Ramsey into the pit. Everyone is now on their way back out. I think DRL doesn't want to run full quali just because of the 100% race. It'll just take forever to do. Especially with the F1 division, you got to think that's 18 minutes for Q1, 15 minutes for Q2, and then 12 minutes for Q3. That takes up around about 40 odd minutes, and then obviously the race, which takes another hour and a half, hour or 45 minutes. So obviously I'm in the F2 division, so it really wouldn't really affect me anyway, because we do full qualifying anyway with the regulations and all that. On the tyres. Oh, Kiwi's finally actually made a lap. I mean, they could easily do that, yeah, definitely. I mean, they could do it like real life. I personally don't see a problem in doing that. It would be less time consuming, I suppose. I'm not sure why people are coming out in dry tyres. Yeah, I mean, maybe they can do that for next season. Perhaps. That's a terrible one. So one shot, going around the ultimate corner. The line now. Is he going to improve his 146? I don't think he will. And he doesn't. He's a little bit slower. I really don't know why people are actually doing runs on these tyres, because it's, I'm not sure how bad. It should be very slippery out there. Already on board with my brother now. So there's a lot of changes actually coming to SVOR. Probably not this season, probably next season. We have a lot of things planned. Obviously, Cynical Velocity Online Racing just doesn't mean F1. We are looking to hopefully expand in the near future. So obviously follow our Twitter and keep an eye on that. People are finally realising that they have to actually retire. It's just going to be less time consuming this one. So look as they come to the pits. Obviously Foxy Cash isn't here today, serving a race ban. St. Dan had a quali ban for retiring on track in qualifying last race. I believe that we actually saw that second, so okay. So yeah, like I said, a few changes coming soon. And he's safely through to. Who's coming out now? No one should be coming out. Of course, there's one driver coming out, which is alive. No, I mean, he's not going to improve on his time, so he's retired. People should be retiring. So we decided to do through full quali to make it a little bit easier on the faster drivers, so they don't get involved with getting held up and all that kind of stuff. So if we only have like 15, then everyone just retires, and Richard is lagging. We are looking at connections this race. We want everyone to have a fair race. Obviously, it's going to hamper all those kind of things. Everyone's starting to realise they should be retiring. Richard, obviously, I don't know why he came out on softs. I mean, it's pretty much like English rubber. If he wins it now, so yeah, we're going to be probably what else is there to say? There's a few things going on behind the scenes. Was the season 2 of the F1 League that have a lot of changes. How we run it. Obviously, this is our first season, so everything's not as perfect. Obviously, changing for the rest of the season. Seeing how this race goes so far, and yeah, we're all very excited, as I said. Looking forward to it. So I'm completely new to this, having my own league. Obviously, I have my own team, which, as you can see, there's quite a few. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 drivers out of 16 in this league, so very, very happy about that. Obviously, this being SVOR, everyone from SV had a chance to join. Everyone signed up, it's just, obviously, they might have been busy on Mondays, so obviously they can't do it, which is completely oh, don't worry, I already am, don't worry. Someone needs to message Richard to go into a tire, because this is horrible. the end of the thing anyway. So yeah, so that's the end of Q1. Q2 will now follow. It will be the same 15 drivers, just apart from Dan, obviously serving a qualifying van. So these streams will be a little bit longer for years. So the plan is to have it up by 4 PM. Well, I mean, I download it straight after. Obviously, you can watch the races after they're finished on here. They're saved, I think, for like 2 weeks, I believe they save them for. So obviously, if you want to watch it straight after, you're more than welcome to. A few drivers do, a few people also. But it will be up on our YouTube channel. Tomorrow at 4 PM. And then things will just go on from there. So obviously, going into Q2 now, which will be... I mean, I can't turn my mic volume up, but I can turn the audio down in the game. I'm not sure. Let me know if that's better. Yeah, so obviously top 15 go through, so now we have the same 15 people. Not sure who's actually on now. Well, there goes got on the 6 out onto the track. I'm not sure why people are still on dry tyres. It's clearly raining. Obviously these are the tyres that they will be starting on, so I don't want to take too much trial life out. I will get rid of that. Ah, lovely. Obviously I have to, well, I have to use this apart from streaming, so so I think got on 6 in the first person. There's been 6 in the stream. Going around that now. Elias is the first person. Everyone's just trying to get out, but are lapping. They don't want to be sitting in the pits like Richard and Adam and one shot is way out now. Not sure what the weather's going to be like for the actual race. I don't really want to know either. It's all about surprise, and that's what I kind of like about league racing when you're streaming, because you don't know what people's strategies are going to be like, or whether it's going to be raining in the race or wherever. You never know what kind of conditions it's going to be. Obviously, follow the 2 Ferraris nearly hitting each other. That's not going to pan out well. So obviously, I'm going to put on Elias, see what kind of times he is doing. Usually around about 1 minute 30 around on the dries. Obviously there is mixed conditions at the moment, which they make things a lot trickier. We'll see who's the best really. A massive lock up from Elias there. I love this bit of the part of the track. It's very FIFA. I don't know what it's like in these kind of conditions. He's lifted up a little bit. It looks pretty good to me. I mean, it might dry up by the end of qualifying, you never know. Elias coming down the back straight now. We'll be setting the first lap of qualifying. Well, Q2 anyway. yellow flag. Not sure why. Rises the other way, and he realises that he's making his very own pitch. Yeah, very creative. Talking with 142. Yeah, it's definitely not dry enough out there. But obviously, it'll be incredibly quicker than the intermediates. So these laps are gonna. John's getting a nice slipstream there on his teammate. Obviously, Ramsey also on the lap himself. He runs out wide. And I think he's lifted off there. Both McLaren's about to cross the line. Ramsey is only just in. Obviously, we'll probably have one more good go at it. Both Mercedes, that's Lucas Aid making a bit of a mistake there. He is. That might be the end of the Mercedes driver there. One shot. He's very low on this time. I don't know where he's going. And we caught that on stream. Yes. He probably has a lot of damage to that front wing right now. Richard going around the last corner. Very, very tricky conditions here. Disabled, so I don't think anyone's really going to improve. Very disappointing qualifying for the Mercedes drivers. Obviously, they should probably be up there. Obviously, this isn't like real life where they should be dominating every single track. Probably should be doing a little bit better. Adam Lee on the slowest of the tyres. One shot is risking it on the intermediate. He's having a lot of trouble there. Richard, not that far behind him, he's just made the same mistake. I have to pick his braking absolutely perfect here. Obviously this will be around the time they'd actually be finishing their laps. But Adam going up to complete. Now he pulls into the pits. Richard also coming in. Please don't do a one shot and just career into the barrier. Game has also won the intermediates. Here we go. Let's see how one shot is going to be like around here. Obviously, probably hasn't done a lot of wet weather laps at all. Obviously, it's kind of always expected around China. Should always probably imagine the worst. See what kind of times. Always run out wide again. Not going to be a great lap, but obviously it is only his out lap, so it should be. Hopefully he'll learn on his actual flying lap. Going down, obviously DRS. There is none. There's no as activated just yet. King Gamers has left the session. He'll probably get an invite. I hope he does. There's a lot of people in the pits, so someone invites me. One shot going around the last corner now. and see if he can actually improve on his lap. Elias in the background, running out very wide on his one. So a lot of drivers now coming out on intermediates, hoping to push themselves a little bit further up and see how One Shot's doing. Now obviously hasn't actually set a lap and he's run out wide. So he's not having the greatest of all. Obviously he will probably get this time put in so he can actually see his lap. He's gone off again. It's going to ruin his lap even more. He doesn't want to get in the way of any more drivers. Manzi's looking quite good in the wet lip. He is far behind. I don't think anyone's actually going to improve. We will watch Ramsey runs out the way to Baku in his next race. It's going to be very interesting. So Ramsey, there's only 3 seconds, so they might actually improve on these laps. One Shot is going to. I don't actually know where he is. Kimmy's retired. He knows he's probably done enough. I can probably tell he's getting quite frustrated underneath that. That was One Shot to get out of the way. He's probably fueled himself to go for a couple of laps. It's like they're actually racing whilst qualifying. Oh, there we go, I think he's backed up a little bit. Manzi. DRS has been enabled again, so it has dried up. I mean, there is 2 minutes left, so it might dry up just enough to see them all switch on to the dry tyres again. Manzi coming into the biggest braking zone, so Dan has left. Hopefully we'll get another invite back. Manzi coming into the final corner. Let's see if he can improve on his lap, or he comes into pits and does carry on. He's got a tiny bit wide and he comes to the line and it's a 1. He does improve. Good amount, 1.4 on his time. Keeps him there. Oh, he's just been pushed down. I think that was Adam Lee. That's just pushed him down. It was indeed. One Shot. Gained a little bit of time on his time. Yeah, so people are coming out back on softs to do their final runs. F3 John. Completely off. Nice of it was indeed. Obviously Tony's retired, he thinks he's done enough, unless he crashed, and then no surprises there. I'm only joking. It's just a running joke. I think Randy's going to be, unless he's improved a lot on this lap. Let's see, he comes to the line. I think he's out of qualifying. Oh, that's going to be a massive shame. Unless he can improve on his next lap. I think he should be fueled up for one more lap. I think it's definitely dry tyres now. I'm not sure if John's actually going to get line. King came in, he's retired, he knows he's probably got enough. John hasn't got enough time to get. I have no idea where he's going. Go on, mate, where you going? Oh, he didn't crash. Oh, okay. He actually made it into Q1, so I think we're going to bring in a couple of drivers to have a word with them. Bring in only like one or two. Albert puts in the fastest lap. George Key probably going to want to change that. 3 seconds up. Very expected. There's a car right behind him though, which is the car. Here comes Envy coming down a long straight. Improve. I think he's out of qualifying. Let's ride on board with Bonds now. He is in 9th. He's safe. Comes around the last corner, and that's now been spun. I'm guessing that's Ramsey. Jorky puts himself in first. John obviously on the lap. Rossi crossing the line now. I'm not sure of that. And that's good. So yeah, that's the end of qualifying 2. So the drivers that made it were, just have to screenshot that. Rossi, Jorky, Alba, Envy, John got in 6th, Kimmy, Tony, and Adam Lee. I think Gamers has apparently not made it. Oh yeah, apparently top 6 right now. Okay. I do need to screenshot it. Right, so let's bring in so into Q3 now. 12 minutes on the board. There's a few cars being readied up. See a Ferrari getting ready. George Key coming out. I think we'll leave the qualifying interviews until next week, just to make it fair on the stream so people can actually watch it. So MV on his way out as well. Still got a few drivers sitting in their garage. Interview Ramsey. Okay, I'll interview Ramsey then. We'll probably do one driver a race. There we go, that'll do. Just include your audio, mate. Yeah, well, I thought I'd give you an interview for your.
Yeah, because it was my idea.
Yeah. Obviously, not the best qualifying you've had. Obviously, out in Q2. Tell us what's wrong. What happened?
I made a mistake on the first lap in Q2 at just before the. I don't know what number turn it is, but just for the turn that goes all the way around to the long straight.
Oh, the
and that made me a lot slower on my dry lap, or dry-ish lap. And then improved on the inter lap.
Yeah, well, unfortunately you are out. We've made this a thing where we're just going to interview one person in qualifying each time we go out. So we're out in Q1, one person will get an interview. Probably the most surprising that has gone out.
With me?
Obviously, yeah, I thought you had the pace for round China.
Oh, I thought I did as well.
To actually get on board.
If I didn't make that mistake, then I think it would have been through.
We'll keep coming around the last corner now. Just leave whenever you want, mate. The DRS wide open now. Coming to the hardest braking. There's cars behind him. Looking to set the laps. Coming around the penultimate corner now. One's at a tiny bit wide. Running up to the final corner now. Splits the inside and it's DRS wide open to the line. It's a 1:32.8.
1:32.8 for bottom 6.
1:32.8 for everyone apart from Adam Lee. John sits a 1:32.7. That's a very quick lap.
Go on, John.
A very quick lap from Adam Lee. A 1:32.3.
Yeah, but let John set his on the mediums. Look.
Oh yeah.
There's a good second in between the softs and the mediums.
Yep. Who's next across the line? Bonge. Bonge coming up to the final corner now. He's looking to get a decent result today. Come around the last corner. DRS wide open.
32.5.
1:32.5. Bad lap. Albert coming around the last corner now. Clips absolute everything. Run to the line. It's a 1:31.4, but it's been invalidated. Tony started his lap. Kimmy coming around the last corner now.
Why are John and Tony on the mediums?
1:31.0.
5.
Oh, 9.
Kimmy got 1:31.5.
1:31.5. I can't actually read anything.
I imagine that's what John will get close to as well, because I think him and John, Kimmy and John are on about the same sort of pace.
Yeah, well, Tony's the only one that is on that. I don't think Tony on the medium tyres as well. Not sure
Don't
why.
get why Tony and John are going on the mediums.
He nearly spun it. So obviously Alba will be getting a nice slipstream down this straight. Courtesy of Tony. Tony braking halfway through that corner. Oh, where's Alba?
That's just Tony things, that is.
I think Alba's made a mistake. I think he's coming out. Unless he actually made a mistake coming out. The snail corner. Anyways, let's ride on board with Tony. Coming up to the final corner now. Oh, he runs out wide. That's probably going to invite. Oh no, he goes up to 7th. He's 3 seconds off the pace. 4 seconds off the pace. And then he runs out wide again.
Good old Tony.
I'm Tony, put it together. I know you're watching the stream. Stop drifting round corners. Who do you think you are? You're not Coco Drift. So we're just waiting for 2 more drivers to settle up.
I live in Tokyo.
Gamers, if you've got a clip, just send it to the Twitter after the race is finished, and we'll sort it out. Someone's been naughty. I feel sorry for Dan. He's been sitting here doing nothing for like the last half an hour.
Oh well.
Fair enough. Tony's down on his lap, so I'm guessing he's probably going to be picking this up. John's the supers, not the supers, the softs on.
The softs.
I'm still getting used to it. Leave me alone. Adam Lee coming out for.
It's just soft, medium, hard. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah, well.
I was playing F1 2012 over the weekend, and that's just prime an option. Different compounds of tyres, because they're different walls, different coloured walls on the tyres, but they're just prime an option.
I gotta go back to basic stuff. I'll say 4 minutes left qualifying. Battle for pole. I did predict John to get pole. He's a little bit off his time, but obviously he did set them on the mediums, so he'll be looking to improve. I mean, he hasn't got to take that. I think
it'll be between him and Kimmy.
I think he's got a game like, what, 1.2 seconds? I know he can do that.
I think the difference between the soft and mediums is 1.3 seconds.
Oh. But he doesn't want to take too much out of his tyres.
If he's made a mistake on his medium lap, ever so slight, then he could be well within getting to the low 131s.
Indeed.
I'm going to stay with qualifying to finish.
Alright, more than welcome to. So Adam, starting his lap now. Not far off pole. I'm sure he's going to be going for it. Around the first couple of corners, it's one sweeping motion basically. A couple more people are on the way out. Lock up. There it is. Not sure why they changed the cameras so early for. Go into a hard braking zone. I don't know what these are. I don't really tend to look at the track. I'm guessing like 5. Coming to the fast left-hander, puts the grass, can be flat through there if you've got a lot of downforce.
John's still not coming out.
And he's probably waiting until like 2-minute mark.
Yeah, but then you've got to set near enough 2 qualifying laps, don't you?
Yeah. So anyway, let's find Adam Lee going round the sweeping right-hander.
Yeah, nice toe off the Renault there, I think. Depending on how fast the Renault. I know the Renault's going quite slow though. Still move out the way of speed up.
I was kind of expecting them to pass, but around the final corner.
He's going to go for it now anyway.
It's going to be
131.6, very good lap.
Improves, but not enough. I don't know if he's going to be able to go again. John's on his way out. I believe it was Alba. No,
and McLaren looks good.
McLaren does look very nice. Bottom 6. I think it's the next person to set that. He is. Yes. Adam Lee's on another lap. Going quite quick.
I would have thought so. He might be trying it. He's still got half of his ERS left though. No, he's on No, he's going through sector
If he turns it up,
2 on 1
then...
ERS, so...
No, he's not on the lap, I don't think. But he had a
No,
flag.
he's 2.6 seconds off of the time
Boxes.
through sector 2.
John...
6 has improved by 3
He's got
tenths
enough
in
time,
sector
so
2.
Bonge will be the last driver to cross the line. Obviously, we're still waiting for Rossi and Albert to actually settle out. I think Albert is actually the next person to settle out. So, coming into the penultimate corner now. Running up to the final corner. Let's see if he can. He doesn't actually settle that time. So, coming up to the line now.
Improve.
Yeah, he's put it on pole so far.
Oh no,
On
Cotton 6
six.
didn't improve. I thought he would have done.
He ran out wide.
Yeah.
Coming onto the long straight.
Yeah.
So I think
Alba's got it on pole now. A minute.
Tony can run the last corner now. He is 1 second up, but he runs out wide.
Improves, but not
Oh.
enough.
So Jorky.
Oh, Rusty B's gone out wide.
Jorky running up to the final corner. He's going to want to put it on pole. Round the final corner now. Doesn't run out wide. To the line, and he gets it on
Nice
second.
Ooh.
Let's have a look at Rossi. Rossi can run the last corner now. He will get a lap in. I don't know where it's going to put him though. Put it on pole! So
One's down
John,
in 7th. What can he do? Coming around the hairpin.
If he puts it on pole though, John putting around the last corner.
A minute. That's 4 changes so far.
And DRS, and here we go.
John's
only
P5.
5th. Bonge. Bonge putting around the last corner now. Let's see if he can get up any further. No, he doesn't. Oh, Alva's still. Oh no, he's not. So Kimmy. I just realised that.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Absolutely beautiful.
Drop my
Oh. That won't be good for the race.
No, I've got a spare one. I have 2 spares sat in front of me, so I'd be alright.
Oh, my battery is going to die soon, so I need to change my battery whilst we're not doing anything. So, yeah, I will talk to you. I won't talk to anyone actually until the end of the race, so I need to change my battery.
Hopefully you'll talk to me again. I have an absolute stonker of a race.
There we go. I think everything's working for me. So that concludes Q3. Thank you, Ramsey, for giving us a little interview there and sticking with me for the last 12 minutes. So that's Kimmy on pole, with Rossi in second, Alba in third, Jorky in fourth, John in fifth. That's a big surprise. Adam Lee in sixth.
By 2 tenths.
Seventh is Bonge, eighth Cotton sixth, and ninth Tony. Oh, that's gonna be, yeah, it's very close between the top 5 there. I think John might have made some sort of mistake.
Bye bye.
Alright, see you later, mate. Ben will win. Can we have Ramsey? Yeah, he's coming back, don't worry. So, it's only 9 o'clock now. Oh, it's a wet race. That explains why everyone was. It's going to be a very, very interesting. What's going on? Okay. That explains it. So John could have potentially got pole, but absolutely bottled it. Alba is left. So I'll just give him an invite. Don't actually have one here, so I have to go through my recent players. There's Alba. There it is. Invite to a game. Unless he was just doing qualifying. I'm not sure. Obviously, there's going to be probably a few minutes now, so everyone can get a setup ready for the rain. Obviously, have no idea how long this rain will last, so I'm going to take a break. Obviously, we'll still be here talking. So my next job now is to pick who I think is going to be on the podium. I'm going to go with Kimmy first, John second, and then Jorky in third. Obviously a lot of points up for grabs. 26 points for the most points you can get in the race if you're first and you get fastest lap. I think the only way you'll be able to do that is if it dries up mid-race. Obviously, I have no idea what it's going to be like, and I don't really want to know either. Gives it a little bit more mystery to the race. It's very cloudy, so I don't think the rain's going to be letting off anytime soon. Before anything starts, I'm going to make a quick. You didn't have to tell me. Right, I'll be back soon in a second. And I am back from my wee break. It was a very long hour that was. Jorky has now readied up, so everyone now can. And then everything from here doesn't really change. Obviously podium interviews at the end. It's going to be very interesting to see who's going to be on the podium. I think Alba has actually left the session. I'm not sure if he's come back online or not. No, he hasn't. So we've lost one car who was in Portugal in second place. So that's going to give the person a jump. So John's gained a little bit from there, starting P4. Oh, sorry, P3. Sorry. Yeah, so if you haven't followed just yet, give us a follow. And yeah, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you follow our Twitter, go to our Twitter. There'll be a link to our YouTube channel somewhere. Obviously I have to keep an eye on the stream, so being gamers I think is not sure why it does that kind of stuff. Obviously Lucasade up in P12 after all that. Everyone moves up one place really. Realistically when the race starts. I've already done my who I think's going to finish on the podium. Where is Jordan? Oh, and people are crashing in the back, and I think that was Richard. It's only the formation lap, obviously you shouldn't be really going too fast, realistically. All the drivers, there's quite a lot of drivers missing. Kimmy warming his tyres up, I need to get that. We'll leave it on tyre for now until we have to change it. I'm probably predicting I mean this is a one stop obviously, because we're only really needing intermediate. I reckon a two stop would be a bit faster. So Bonge is, there's 5 cars that got disqualified from the formation. John will get a nice run with no car directly in front of him. There we go. Sounds like the cars are already left the grid, but... And there's 5 lights, and here we go. Let's see who gets the greatest starts. John getting a decent start. He's bogged down. Adam Lee overtakes him. John's going round the outside. And that's Bond running out very, very wide. John down the inside of George Key. I think they made a little bit of contact there. Here we go. Let's get on board with Adam here. Ramsey up to P7 already, and here comes King Gamers down the inside. Oh, I'm so glad Ghosting was on. And that's why we have it on, ladies and gentlemen. King Gamers. Ramsey up to P7, like I said. John's lost the position. Let's see. Oh, I was near into the back of King Gamers there. So Kimmy has got just under a second lead now. John pulling out. He's going to go down. Getting tapped by Adam there. Adam hits the back of him. No damage caused, I don't think. John is being hounded by the Haas driver. George Keane having a different line. So is Ramsey. Everyone's having a different line. Lucas laid up to P9. Doing very well. St. Dan up to P9 now. Very good race. Lucas Aid looking down the inside, doesn't get it done. Tony all over the back of him. John. George Key has got past Rossi. Rossi has the inside, pushes George Key out wide. A lot of drivers are running out wide there, and here comes George Key, but King Gamers is all over the back of him. George Key down the inside, that's a great move. Can he hold it? He can. Oh, and he runs out. Ooh. A nice little battle up front. George Key should get the traction. Rossi's all... King Gamers is all over the back of Rossi there. And John to overtake, and King Gamers around the outside. Let's see if we can get the job done. No, we can't. Goes out onto that curb. He's not going to get traction on there. SV John. no one's... Bondra's obviously lost quite a bit of time. One runs out wide to help him. And Rossi runs deep, and there's King Gamers. On the inside, oh, there's a bit of contact. John's having fun with his gearbox by the sound of it. A bit of a lag. Oh, and John's going for the move. He'll get it done. Adam Lee is up his inside as well. And he's got past them. Oh, I don't know what's going down here. Nice little battle. We've seen this battle before in another league. Because they're all over the back of Envy. We'll go up the inside. It doesn't go for the move. John and King Gamers, on the other hand. Where's King Gamers? Oh, there it is. SV John all over the back of him. Does not want to get past the Williams driver. A 1.7 gap up front. I mean, the top 9 are all separated by 10 seconds, so that's a good start from everyone. Ramsey, I don't know how many. Let's have a look at positions changed. Yes, I see Dan up to 8th. He's all over the back of Ramsey back there. There we go, sit Dan. Ramsey taking a wider line. Dan giving him enough room, which is very nice sportsmanship. John and King Gamers still having a battle. John going for the move. So much ghosting, it's actually annoying. I have to turn that off. He would have set the fastest lap, and that was King Gamers running out very wide. He's now under attack by the McLaren driver. I think Dan has got past Ramsey. Let's move that back to tyre. There we go. John's internet is not usually this laggy. I don't know if it's just a game, because we all know what Codemaster games are like. Oh, that's King Gamers running out very wide. That means he's probably going to lose position to John. No, he's still there. And Envy's got past Tony. Definitely coming back in this race, up into the points now. A very good drive, obviously running out very wide on turn 1. Right, let's get that interval so we can see when that's John bringing into King Gamers, but obviously coasting. There's a nice battle between King Gamers, Rossi and John right now. Obviously Adam Lee in the background, St. Dan starting last. Already made it half, well, more than halfway up the field now. Here we go. And King Gamers and Rossi. Oh, and Rossi's down into... Oh, and there's a bit of contact there. Oh, and I think Adam Lee... he just kept it. But he's going to be under a lot of pressure from Rossi. Here we go, Rossi down the inside. See if we can keep it. And he runs out wide. I'm not sure where he is. There he is. Let's just go back in front. There he is. Yellow flag, and that's bottom 6 spinning on the last corner. One shot actually nearly just hit Onge and Tony having a nice little battle. And he's got him, but Bonge is being very, very quick. Quick car back behind. Goes for the. Oh, what a great overtake! Tony gets to the switchback though. Gets the move. This is going to be very tight around this bit of corner, and he concedes the position. But Tony runs out very wide. There we go. Gets it back into the corner, and he just goes off. Lucasade a little bit further back. Let's get on board with John's got a nice little gap now to Rossi and Gamers. Not that far ahead. He'll be having a nice little race by himself. So see how he's doing. Very nice. King Gamers and John. It's only 4/10 behind Ramsey. Ramsey will be looking to get another solid points finish here. Up into overtake. Let's see what Ramsey's in. Oh, he's down on Urs. So Bonge and that's got on 6 spinning again. Yeah. Having a very tough season. One shot is tired. Lost it on the side. I have no idea how he's lost it there, but a 4-second gap now between Kimmy and Jorky. Everyone's now got a nice gap. St. Dan only 3/10 behind Adam Lee. Definitely having a very good race. And Gotten's retired, so we've had 2 casualties already this race. I've got no games to know what to do. I'm on board with Ramsey. Left. Very difficult season. Ramsey running out wide again. I won't even Ramsey. Another yellow flag somewhere. Who's that? Rossi, Madam Lee. He's setting the fastest lap again. So John only 7/10. We're going to stay on board with St. Dan. Oh, we have a safety car. Why is Lee just directly stopped the track? So Bonge pits. For another. I don't know if he actually meant to put his mediums on. I mean, it might be a good strategy call. Just looks very wet out there. The pack will now bunch up. This is the first safety car we've had in SVOR. That's very exciting. He's still going at race speed by the looks of it. I don't think he realises it's actually a safety car. No, he does. sure where the safety car actually is. Probably into the first corner. Looks like Dan making up the most positions in the race. Starting P15 up into P6. 9 positions within the first 8 laps. Being a very good race he is. Bond slowly making his way up to where everyone is. It feels like it is dry enough for the dries. Maybe he knows something that we don't. Maybe not. Oh, pardon me. I wasn't expecting that to come out. We should just ride on board with a safety car. That would be pretty good. So, just waiting for Richard and Bonge to catch up. I think Bonge will probably end up putting at the end of this lap. He's a long way behind Richard. Unless it's supposed to dry up within the next laps. Let's see who's got good reactions from when the safety car comes in. Let's see, probably a few moves down into turn 1. We have one more lap. I think the safety car might come in this lap. I'm not exactly sure why. I think the safety car came up from Jack. Yeah, there's a crash. Carries on. Definitely drying out there. Tony and Lucas Aid swapping his position. Tony is back. We'll get him in. Where is he? Oh, I can't. Safety cars in this lap. Oh, and Lucas Aid's just been hit from behind. we go. Kimi leads the pack. A lot of confusion in Jorky. He's spinning out of control. There we go, St. Dan. Into P4, John. To P5. Rossi and Adam having a nice battle. Ooh, that was very close from Dan, who was rushing out there. All over the game is all over the back of Jorky right now. Rossi and Adam again. Looks to go for a move on John. Oh, John's got damage. Oh, he's not having a great couple of days of racing. Running out wide now. Not sure on what happened there. Anyways, battle at the front. It's definitely drying up. This is a 10-second time limit. That will probably get removed. John, I assume, will probably be that. Yes, he is. So's Elias. It's definitely dried up. Yeah, it's definitely drying up. Elias will most likely jump John here, which he has. So is Tony. But he's not actually in the race. I'm not sure if he's... Oh, there he goes, he's back. There we go. That's that sorted. Should take control of this car very, very soon. Just have to click on your name. So all these guys are going to be putting out a lot of time. Obviously DRS hasn't been activated just yet. Ramsey running out wide. We see a few cars coming in this lap. Oh, and he's hit him. See if he fits. And he does. Jorky. Also win. Oh, and that's a big mistake from St. Dan. He's going to be held up. He's going to lose a lot of time. Everyone's coming in. Let's see where John is. Actually, not alive. Let's see if Jorky can jump anyone. Cards. He's going to take it to the end. Kimi's already out. Let's see his jump. Both of them. Lucas aid on the softs. John into P7, running out very wide. Envy with the fastest lap of the race. He's already jumped 2 people. There we go. His tyres are obviously going to be a lot worse at the end. Kimi still leading with Jorky and Rossi. And Lee's going to want to look to get past these 2 guys, but are being hunted down by the Williams of King Gamers. John, who pitted only a couple of laps ago, with broken wing damage, has made a few places. Bond's only one position off, but I think Dan's going to be all over the back of him. Only 14 laps, so softs should last the rest of the race. There we go. Go for a move. Looks up a tiny bit. Adam Lee, the RS wide open. There we go. What's going on down here? I'm just going to get into the slipstream. There we go for a move down the inside. That doesn't think of it. Elias was the fastest lap of the race. Actually, John was the fastest lap of the race. Oh, there we go. John and King Gamers once again. Bond sets the fastest lap of the race. It was a slight tap. Probably going to want to get an Adam Lee. And there's go and John. And King Gamers gets the switch back. This is definitely getting very, very interesting. Because they're going to have the Williams man all over the back of him very, very soon. I mean, they're all on the same tyres. Whether they can go the full distance, no one knows. And there's a yellow flag. I think that was Richard. Yeah, he's lost half his front wing. He's going to probably go into the pits. There we go, John putting past. Finally. Jimmy sets the fastest lap of the race. See if John can hunt down Elias. There we go, sent down with the fastest lap of the race. 2.7 behind Lucasade. And he still can't get past Rossi. But John's already half a second behind the lights. Going very, very quick. We'll get DRS though. Trying to leave and Gamers behind a bit now. No. DRS for John. Over the shoe. Yeah, here we go. Gamers. In DRS off Ramsey though. No, Ramsey in DRS. There we go. John around the outside. Life locks up, but John's got it. What a great move. They will have the Williams of King Gamers probably all over the back of him soon. Life with DRS on John though. Keeping ahead of King Gamers. Now there's only 3.7 and there's Dan overtaking Lucasade for P9. Lucasade holding it around the outside. Special move done. Adam Lee. Oh, drifting around the corner. John already nearly getting a second gap to Elias. Ramsey's having a nice decent race as well. probably get overtaken by Dan very soon, just because he's on the softer compound. Lee still within DRS. We'll see. I think he's made a big mistake. Not sure what's happened, and Rossi's in the left. I need to get him back in. So John is going to be overtaking him very soon. And there we go, Elias in Gamers. I'll do it quickly. Rossi. How about that? Let's see John up to P4. Let's see Dan getting past Ramsey. Let's see Dan on the softer compounds here. Let's see Rossi's probably going to be getting overtaken by Elias very soon. 2 point splits. Let's see if John can get himself on the podium. Still 13 laps to go. Is very easily done. He can see the Haas driver. And we can only just about see George Key there. It's only a very good race. Obviously he can actually see the front man, only 2.1 separates him. John only now 1.9, a little bit slipstream, 1.4, 1.3, 1.2 by the end of the lap of the straight. Let's see how good his braking is. Yet 1.2. He's gained a lot. Oh, and Adam Lee spun. Oh no. Game is alive. Obviously overtaking Rossi. He's still not in control of his car just as yet. In game is. Oh, and Adam Lee spun again. He's just been overtaken by Lucasade and Bonge now right behind him. See if Bonge can get this move done on the much obviously on worn tyres, but he's on the faster tyre. Not sure how his tyres are actually looking at the moment. I know he's very good with controlling his tyres, so hopefully he can get this job done and get himself some points, which he is definitely going to want to get. Oh, and Adam Lee, he's making more mistakes. Oh, and Lucasade obviously taking 8th now, obviously isn't in the race. Lucky on 8.4. I don't actually want to ride on board with John because the last time I did that he crashed. Jorky making his own line. Only 2.2 behind the front man. Definitely saving his. He's definitely good at saving his O's. Still got half a tank left. Adam Lee. What's going on here? Bonge makes that up into P9. I think Dan is pitted. Lucasade is also pitted. They couldn't go the full distance from their tyres. And releases Bonge up to 7th. And Adam Lee is also pitted. Adam Lee is retired. That's a massive shame from the Haas driver. He's having a good race at the start and then just kind of literally was 3 laps. Oh no, he's on 3 laps. It was 3 laps down. My bad. That kind of now separates the field a little bit. Obviously St. Dan still in the points playing positions. Let's see who's got the fastest real lap. It is indeed Sit Down. Rossi is now joined. He has got P8 though. We'll just take control of his car. Where is Tony? Tony in P9. There he is. Having a bit of his own little race at the moment. And he's getting hunted down by St. Bamber. Let's see what the gap is at the top. We'll move that back into the jockey's lost a little bit of time. I reckon Jorky's just hoping for a mistake from Kimmy so we can capitalise on it. I mean, if you're in the chat, your predictions for the last 10 odd laps, who thinks will win, will be very close up at the top. There's not really many battles going on really. In gamers, in P4, John in P3, and there's Tony. Rossi is right. Where is Luke actually? Oh, there he was. We're gonna want to get past his SV compatriot. The SV members actually still disconnected, unfortunately. Talking of 3-second time penalty. There's a flag. Oh, and that's Lucasade and Rossi. I have a feeling Lucasade has probably hit him. Probably means he's going to get a penalty. Rossi will probably record that, send it to us. As he is now a full-time driver. He started last race actually. There we go. Sit down in time. There's a bit of a gap to Envy. That means Lucasade will probably be pitting out. Whether that's the end of his race, I have no idea. He'll probably get out ahead of Richard. Lucasade carries on. Feels like it's fine. That 3-second time penalty. John realistically only needs to get 5 seconds off him to gain P2. With 9 laps to go, it's very doable. Obviously that probably means Jorky won't be winning this race. I think he'll be very, very happy with P2. I did stay at the start. I did want an SV 1, 2, 3 at the moment. I'm not going to say it because I know what will happen. And John with a 3-second time penalty, which may cost him P3 unless he gets a big enough gap, which he does currently still have. Obviously it will be still an SV 1, 2, 3. Because King Gamers is now part of Cynical Velocity, the same as Kimmy, our newest driver. Settled in very, very well. Ranzi, Bond is pitted. I know what he's going for. He's going to be going for fastest lap, I reckon. He puts a set of Sue the softs on, which he does. He's definitely going to be going for fastest lap, which will then bring everyone up one place. Obviously, our league's a little bit different compared to real life, where the fastest point or the fastest lap goes to anyone, not just the top 10. Envy's actually got it out ahead of Lucasade, which is very important for his race. So, I mean, there's not any rattles now going on. Everyone's got a very, very comfortable gap. Obviously done having a good race. Obviously starting from last after a quali ban. Don't feel like anyone's going to be on a quali ban. Obviously Foxy Cash will be back next week after serving his race ban. Obviously we'll be at Baku and then Spain, which is one of my favourite tracks, and then Monaco, and then we'll be having a week break, and then we'll be back at Canada, I believe, and then it will be France. I mean, I've actually kind of called the top three correctly, just not in the right order, really. John needs to start gaining and getting that gap. Obviously, he has got 4.5, and that's 3-second time penalty for Bonge there. I think this might be have to be one of the most entertaining races we've got so far. Obviously, Kimmy's led from the front. I don't think he's actually been really challenged for the lead at all. Having a very decent race. Jorky, who we're on board with now. A bit of a difficult race last week, obviously not finishing, so obviously second place would mean a lot. And John starting to pick up his pace now. 5 seconds, or just under 5 seconds now, ahead of King Gamers. Oh no, 5 seconds. Only 7 seconds behind Jorky. Jorky's losing a lot of time here. Not sure if he's made a mistake somewhere. That noise was outside. And there we go, fastest lap from Bonge. That'll give him 3 points instead of the 2 that he would normally get. Obviously, he didn't have a great race last week either, crashing out. He is only 1.1 behind Tony. 7 tenths now, 6 tenths. He's definitely catching him up. Could see Bonge going for a move. That has definitely come down. Oh, an MV. Tony getting a bit of a bad exit there. Bonge will obviously get DRS this lap. Will most likely sail on past him. Here we go. Move for P8. Obviously not a lot of points, but I'm sure Bonge will be very happy with his performance today. Very good move from the Ferrari driver. Rossi catching Lucasade. Obviously, I think they may have had contact earlier on. Only 6 seconds. You can now see the Ferrari driver. This could get very interesting with only 5 laps to go. He's about to lap Richard by the looks of things. He is indeed. which is letting him on through. 7 seconds now between John and King Gamers. I think that was nearly done. And the closest battle we have at the moment is Rossi and Lucasade. You see Lucasade missing part of his front wing there, as you can see, on the right side. DRS just yet, but you will most likely have him in the next lap or so. Oh, that was very, very close. Rearing into the back of him. Easton's just about, but he will get DRS. Or not. Oh, no, he does have DRS as only one person. This is where I think they made contact last a few laps ago. There we go. Is it going for a move? No. He hits the back of it though. I'm telling him to move out the way. This is for the last point though. Three laps to go. DRS Rossi should be an easy overtake for the Northern Irishman. DRS wide open with 200 miles per hour. Goes the move. The move done because they leave him plenty enough of space. And that's Rossi into the last points. That's Torquay lapping. And Kimmy going round the penultimate corner now. Only 2 laps to go. Comes down, and then the back of Ramsey will have DRS. There he does. See if Ramsey can keep closed up so much there. 2 laps to go, as I mentioned. Ramsey running out wide. We'll probably keep 6th place going into the first corner. Here comes Dan. Move, Ramsey runs out wide. And Dan up the inside of Ramsey. Ramsey down the inside. Ramsey's still got the position though. See if Dan can attack him into this corner. No, he doesn't go for the move. He's being very, very patient. Here comes Timmy, going around the ultimate corner to start his last lap. The last lap begins now. John has the Red Bull of Richard in the way. Hopefully the Red Bull gets out of the way very soon. He's about to do around the corner. Yeah, he does. Gets the McLaren through. Ramsey holding on to that 6th place. Should start saving his errors for the rest of the race until the backstroke. There's not that many places Dan can really overtake. And here comes Kimi coming down to finish the race in P1. And Kimi around the penultimate corner now. Oh, and Bond just spun. And Kimi wins the Chinese Grand Prix. George Keane coming home in 2nd place. And John having a great race. Coming home in P3. That's what I like to see. And Keen Gamers coming round the last corner to come home in P4. Yeah, Elias. Oh, and Rossi's overtaken Bond as well. Ramsey and Sink Dan having a battle to the end. Here we go. Oh, that was very, very close. We're just going to wait until everyone finishes. Rossi lets Bond's going to come home in P9, but does have a 3-second time penalty. And there we go, that's the end of the Chinese Grand Prix. We will now get the top 3 drivers in. Let's see the confirmation. Include your audio, lads.
Yep, it's included.
So that was good. Alright, so that is the end of the Chinese Grand Prix. Podium as it finishes. Kimi in 1st, Jorky in 2nd, and John in P3, making it the first SV podium in all of existence. Very, very happy about that. So we're going to talk to Kimi first, obviously put it on pole. Very, very good lap, obviously qualifying very mixed conditions. Led the race, I think, from start to finish. Just give us a few words on your qualifying and your race, please.
Q1, I don't even know. Q1 was bad. Q2 was, I don't even know what that was, pretty much. It was raining and the drives were still quicker, and Q3 was alright. I was not expected to be that far in front on the first run. So, yeah. On the second, I was literally just fucked up so much. I easily could have been in the 30s, but yeah, I take pole anyway.
Yeah, very good platforming. So
Yeah,
obviously the race.
Yeah, the race was. I don't know what my teammate was doing. That was. I know he retired, and then the car went back out and just caused a safety car. So
Yeah.
it was avoidable. So yeah, race in general, all right, I would say.
All right. You won the whole thing. Obviously.
I know.
Race from,
Well, my
great race
pace was
from yourself.
not fucking consistent enough.
Obviously a great race. Obviously finishing first. Yeah, can't really complain. So we're going to move on to second place, Jord. I mean, first podium in SVOR. Starting fourth. Probably not your greatest performance in qualifying. You probably could have done probably a bit better. But obviously, great race as well. Finishing in P2. Just give us a few words.
Oh, it feels good to be back on the podium to start off with. Yeah, I feel like a few times in the first two races, obviously Bahrain, I didn't really get a chance to show my pace because, you know, I lasted 2 corners. And Australia had a few incidents which obviously cost me, but, you know, I felt as if the pace has been there all season to be on the podium. So, yeah, it's nice to be on there. Quali, yeah, as you said, it wasn't the greatest. Like, Q1, obviously I was quickest. Q2, there or thereabouts. Then Q3, my first run, it looked like I was a lot slower, but I was on worn soft tyres, so I wasn't. That was just a banker. And then my actual main lap, I actually ran wide in the middle sector and cost me a good half a second. Otherwise, I would have been on pole. And then in the race, got past Ross. He was very sort of aggressive on the first lap. I thought I nearly had him on the first corner. From there on, then it was trying to close the gap to Kimi. The safety car kind of helped on the restart. I thought it was a bit questionable from Kimi because we come out the final turn and then he suddenly slammed on his brakes after accelerating, which I thought was a bit questionable.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah,
can I say
so
something?
Hang on. Let me finish. And yeah, so from there, after the safety car, I wish I was so tempted to pit a lap earlier to go onto the dry tires, but I was so unsure. And looking back now, I wish I had, because I would have jumped Kimi, and I feel like I could have held him off, because although my pace dropped off at the end, that was because I was saving my tyres, saving my fuel, saving my ERS. You know, I wasn't pushing at all. But yeah, so happy to be back on the podium. Next time, let's make it the top step.
Oh, lovely. Kiri, did you want to say what you wanted to say? Go on to John.
On the safety car restart, that was quite an odd one. I literally started picking up speed because I saw the safety car winning to the left with the pit. I come around the last corner, and then suddenly I went, my fucking whole wheel, or I don't even know what happened. It put me down to second gear with like 60 kph. I don't even know what happened. The thing was, the safety car glitched as well into the track again. So if I literally stayed on the outside line, I would have crashed into a fucking ghost safety car.
Jesus. I mean, I personally didn't see it. I don't know if that was just your
My
screen.
question was as well, why the safety car literally just got restarted in the hairpin? Because normally it's literally the third sector, and then I can choose the pace that I want to drive. So
it was very late.
Yeah, it was just way too late.
Okay, well that kind of clears that up. Obviously, moving on to third place, John. Qualifying was start's questionable, obviously. I mean, you come home in P3. You probably wanted more. You probably obviously wanted to win, like everyone else does. But obviously, that must make you a little bit happy getting a podium. Just give us a few words. I mean, you had quite a big battle with King as well. There was a lot of battling going on between you, Adam Lee. There's quite a few drivers, to be fair. Apparently, you haven't got your audio included, John. According to Steam, you haven't.
Oh well, it's ticked, so
Oh, okay.
screw Twitch. Doesn't matter. Fuck
I'll
Twitch. Fuck my
I'll
life.
do
Fuck.
driver of the day later. Obviously,
Alright, mate.
great race from everyone. Obviously, your teammate finished in P6 after a really long battle at the end with Dan. So that's a nice
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
for McLaren as well. Bonge didn't have the greatest of all races, but he got fastest lap, so I'm sure he's happy with that.
Yeah, it's an extra point for us. That's all I'm happy for him. He had an unfortunate moment at the end, but you know, I told him it happens. Other than that, he drove a great race. He took a chance going onto the dries really early.
Yeah, I did.
It was one of those where it was a 50-50 thing because the safety car came out. He said, "Screw it, I'm going to go to the dries, see how they are." Because you know, if it had paid off for him, we could have had a double Ferrari podium for all I know. So, you know, I fair play to Bond. He took the chance today. It didn't work, but you know, as long as he keeps his chin up, that's the main thing.
The learning curve. Hopefully, he can bounce back in Baku. Talking of Baku, obviously that is next Monday. I'm sure Kimi will be looking to get another win to probably lead the championship a bit more. I will look at the standings and all that when I get them done. But yeah, guys, until next week, I will see you all later. Goodbye.